Hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast. As you see, I'm alone today. Keshav was busy out doing something, so I couldn't come into the office to do this podcast with me. Do let Keshav know in your comments and on Instagram on his channel that you guys are missing him, that you'd like him to visit the studio when he gets a chance to. So, what did I want to talk about today was what I wrote about in the Medium article, which I wrote about failing forward and why this concept is important. And a nice example right now seems to be Boeing and what Boeing is going through. Recently, an article came out where Sir Tim Clark, Emirates, reached out to Boeing and he has spoken to media where he said Boeing has come to the last chance saloon. Last chance saloon is a famous saying in the Western genre. If you know American Western genre, you know what a saloon is. And the last chance saloon is like the last pit stop before you go on a perilous journey, before you go somewhere where you don't know if you'll ever come back from. So it's your last corral where you go and you have a last drink and it's your last chance to call it off or do something else or think differently. So that's what the concept comes from. And Tim Clark was saying that Boeing has reached that stage where they have their last chance to do something right and do it right. In that article, he talks extensively about what Boeing needs to get right, what they need to focus on, and where the previous management has failed. And it's a very nice article. You guys should try and read it. It's in FT, in Financial Times. And he says the main thing which happened with Boeing is under the pressure of investors and the board kind of lost sight of the main purpose of Boeing. The main purpose of Boeing is to make safe and reliable aircrafts. And on their wayward journey, they lost sight of that. They got consumed by free cash flow and investors and profit margins. And when they had trouble with the union in Seattle, Washington, they relocated all their facilities to South Carolina. In that process, they lost a lot of their good engineers and competent managers, left Boeing, and they recruited a whole bunch of fresh people in South Carolina. Training and handing over and coordination seems to have been all fallen through the wayside, through the cracks, as they say. And this has led to very poor standard in Boeing in terms of safety. In manufacturing something such as a highly engineered product like an aircraft, it requires a lot of safety checks. There has to be multiple layers and all has to be scrutinized and audited and done well so that you know you're safe when you're up in the air in an aircraft 30, 40,000 feet up in the air. You can't afford to make a mistake. And somewhere along the line, Boeing has lost the way. And how does this tie in with this Medium article which I wrote about failing forward and this last chance saloon? Failing forward is about the same kind of an idea where Boeing is right now. That all of us have failures in life. All of us make mistakes in life. Is how we come back from this, which is what is critical. How we frame our failure and what we do to move forward. And when a company has this kind of a failure, what it needs to fall back and rely on, it's its leadership. This is true throughout not only in companies, it's true in countries and in civilizations. Civilizations which are brought back from the brink of extinction, countries which are brought back from the brink of bankruptcy and annihilation. It has been through great leadership. Does Boeing have this leadership right now is a big question. Time will tell if Boeing's leadership and management are of this metal, where they have the capacity to work through this setback and come back stronger and change their brand itself altogether. For the last, I would say, more than 10 years, Boeing's name has been hammered right rightly, and it deserves it. Because there has been setback after setback after setback. Even today, the news broke out. There is further delays in the 737 MAX because of some fuselage problems, which is kind of alarming, considering the amount of microscope the 737 MAX is under. So, begs the question, what's happening in Boeing? And it's due to their leadership. Somewhere along the way, they've lost sight of what the company is supposed to be doing. And they've been so busy doing on profit taking and rising the stock prices and keeping investors happy, they've forgotten they're a company which is supposed to make world-class planes. And they're known for that. And they can come back from this if they frame their failures in the right manner and they build on it and focus on what needs to be worked on and focused on. And yes, profit is important, investors are important, but to keep it on the back burner till they get their act together. Because if they cannot do that, the survival of the company itself comes into question. And what happens? Of course, Boeing is a very large company and it's allied by a lot of other industries which rely on Boeing. So I'm not saying it's going to disappear overnight. It's not going to be like here today, gone tomorrow, like an Anand Ambani company. But it's going to put a lot more questions and oversight onto Boeing if they don't get this right now. And historically, a lot of people have faced this kind of scrutiny in their company, the way their management ran their company. Very famously, Steve Jobs, he was ousted from Apple and he came back when Apple was in dire straits and he was busy with Pixar. They brought him back and he resurrected Apple and he gave us the iPhone, the iPad, and all the other products which we see now. Apple is going through something similar like that. Not extreme as Boeing, but the Vision Pro, they bet a lot on it now. And Tim Cook is giving the feelers that Apple iPhone 16 is going to be revolutionary in terms of AI, and the new chip which they're developing for this AI phone is something remarkable, is what everyone's saying. But we do not know how much of it is true till actual product is in hand and we're able to see. The proof is in the pudding, especially when it comes to AI. Even Google, after much fanfare of Bard and Gemini, there is yet to see much proof in the pudding as an end user. So this is something to see what is going to happen. Who knows? AI might be like a crypto thing which we all talk about, and next year we're all moved on to something else. But funnily enough about AI, I don't think it's going to be like that. I think AI is going to be here for a very long time and it's here to stay. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is my hunch. I won't invest on my hunches, but it's there. Other people who have survived like this are people like Jeff Bezos. Amazon was for a long time, it was a loss-making company and went through the dot-com bubble burst. He survived that and there was immense pressure on him and he turned Amazon around and now we all know what Amazon is. He's become a cloud computing company. More than just selling books, he's selling everything under the sun. And there's no turning back from where Jeff Bezos is. That too, he went through a lot of scrutiny, like what Boeing is going through. Elon Musk, SpaceX, Tesla, and right now he's going through it with Twitter, and we don't know. He has a knack of pulling something out of his ideas, come out of his head, and he's able to pull things out. But how many times can he be getting away with it? I do not know. Like Charlie Munger says about Elon Musk. Then, of course, Starbucks is there, Howard Schultz. How he built the brand. Then he left. Then they brought him back. Then he left again. Then they brought him back again as an interim till the current CEO is running it. So this is what we have to wait and watch in Boeing. I know a lot of you are cheering Boeing. And I'm sure a lot of people who are Airbus fans are rather happy about this. But we do need Boeing. We cannot rely on just Airbus and have a single manufacturer in the world making all our aircrafts. We do need Boeing. So for our own joys of traveling and the future of air travel, we all should have great interest in Boeing getting through this. And we should all figure out how we can help Boeing to get through this. So this is what I want to talk about today in the podcast. The importance of failure, how failure can be a defining moment for a company if the leadership is right. I do pray that Boeing has the right leaders right now to help them navigate through this. And they make the right calls and the right decisions are made. This is the same thing Tim Clark echoes in his article in his interview, which came in FT, that he's hoping that he believes that Boeing do have the right leadership and they will get it right. He believes that. I'm also being optimistic. So let's see where this goes. Thanks for watching the podcast, guys. And hopefully I'll have Keshav with me the next one. Bye.